Okay. Here's your strippers, by the way. I borrowed your strippers because they were on the other side. Mine was on the other side of the car. Good day, everyone. Today we are working on a Honda Accord, and we're doing a full system in it. So let's kind of go over what is happening in this and what to look forward to. So the first thing is, this is the premium audio version of this car. This is what we talk about all the time. It has a center channel. There's a subwoofer located in the back. Active front, active rear. Everything's active. The first speaker that I replaced this morning when I came in was this guy here. You can see it right there in the grill. Originally, we were going to do a Morel 2.5 inch, but it's a 3.5. And so that immediately I was like, we talked about it, Fernando and I, for a minute. We're like, we should do a C3 Kenwood. So we're doing a C3 Kenwood in the dash, which is nice. Now, as far as the doors are going to get, they're getting Morels. So the driver's door is already done. He left it off so we can take a look at it. So we have the Morel. Which ones are we doing? Maximo Ultras?
Maximo HE.
So Maximo HE here. And then tweeter. This is going to be a full active setup. So for the tweeter, we've got it into the factory mount here. This is a lot of fun to get a tweeter in here, especially one that's this big. You'll see these 3 screws that are in place. That is because, did you take the tweeter off on that side?
No, not yet.
Could you grab that for me for a second? Or could you grab that for me? What they do is, this is a 2-piece, and it snaps together. There's a bunch of clips here, and there's one here, there's one here, and the tweeter drops into place. The problem is, it's never big enough. So you need to take the grill off, you need to make the hole a little bigger, but to get the grill off, there's tabs that are underneath this. Where these 3 screws go are plastic welds, and that's these guys right here. So they plastic weld it together. So it's really hard to get apart just to get to the things that you need to get to. So those plastic welds have to come off. And for that, I use this bit, which is this is a countersink bit for like a drywall screw. But it works great for these because it doesn't go in that far, and it comes in at an angle, which kind of V-cuts it and flushes it in, which allows us to then use the flush mount radio screws. Of course, these guys, perfect for this. So there you go. So this one is done. So we can get this put back into the car, and this one I have to do now. Now for the dash, we did have to make a bracket, which this is part of the bracket. Because there's 2 different sizes for so there's 2 pieces of acrylic that went into it, a big hole and a small hole. This is the small hole, and this one, this is why I had to make another one, because I wanted to router it. You can see where that line is. That's the big hole, and so I ended up remaking them, taping these together, and then taking them over to router them down. Because I wanted a bevel on this inside edge so that when the speaker bolted in, it was a nice round horn up through the factory hole. So that made things real cool on there. So that dash speaker went in really nice. And of course, it just plugs right in. So that's pretty cool. Just bought an Arc Audio Falcon and Nighthawk. Don't know if I made the right choice. Should have gotten... No, you're good. That's exactly what you want. You made great choices. Good job. Nope, it's perfect. The Falcon is the bigger of the amplifiers. More power, you're good. You'll have a lot of fun. And speaking of Falcon, for this, it is all going to get powered off of a Blackbird. So the Blackbird is going to go full active front, center, rear, and subwoofers. And I know we go, well, how are you going to do that? So center channel is obviously 1-channel mono, and the rear is going to be mono as well. It's going to be a summed left and right off to the rear channels, so that'll be that. And then 7 and 8 will be bridge for the subwoofer. Dean, what do you use to adhere layers of blown PVC? Okay, so this isn't on DNF tool drawer because we just got it and I haven't bothered to put it up there, but it is on Amazon. And so I'm going to show it to you. And all right, I'm just going to give you a warning. This stuff, as soon as it touches, there's no, it says 60 seconds, bull crap. Like, this stuff is instantaneous, and it will never come apart again. It's called PVC Trim Joint Adhesive by Titebond, Pros Advantage. 60 seconds, dude, let me tell you what, you're blown, and this stuff is permanent. I mean, it says right there, permanent bond. Oh my God. Like, when you go, forget it. Now, the one thing I will say is that it does also, you have to be careful where you use it. If it's something that you're going to see, you might just want to screw it together, or you're going to have to paint it because it does have a lot of alcohol in it. So it will leave that white residue, which kind of sucks. So, yeah. Which mini DSP mic would you use? Or the date? I mean, honestly, I don't think it matters, Bobby. Just get. I mean, I haven't bought the Dayton mic. It's on my list of things to buy, but I haven't needed it yet. So, I've often told people to buy that one, so I don't see any reason why not to. I mean, for the price, it's like $30 price difference, I think. So I'd probably just get the Dayton. Nobody, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Dude, it's so strong. Oh my God. Like, it's incredible. It's kind of scary. All right, so front end is Morel. We were going to do Morel center. We changed out to Kenwood, so we have a coaxial in there. It's going to be way louder, which is cool. It'll complement the Morel tweeters. It's going to sound great. For the rear, we're doing Maximal Ultra 602 coaxials in the back deck. We haven't got to that yet. We're doing some basic sound treatment, what we call the 1+1. Which is this guy right here. So it gets a half sheet of sound treatment focused on just the speaker area. And then we also do a half sheet in the door panel of the Ultimate, which is focused here around this area here to absorb all of this. And of course, he went ahead and got fastenings as well for the front doors. So there's that. As you can see, Fernando's over there cleaning it out now, getting ready for the sound treatment on that side. On the podcast, you mentioned you just got new wire racks. Do you mind sharing where you got them from? No, I can show you. So let me show you the wire racks. So we ended up getting 3 wire racks, and let me back up here. So these are them. So heat shrink, Tech Flex, and primary, and the speaker wire we used. Now, a couple things we ran into is that some of these rolls are gigantic, so we 3D printed spacers to bring the bars out, and then some of them were taller. We needed room, so we 3D printed little guides that we can slide in to raise the bar up. So 3D printer for the win, as always. We got these off of Amazon. Now, one thing that we did build as a test is this guy here. And we really like this. This is actually working out pretty great for us as far as keeping everything nice and tight and not doing that. So we're going to do that for all of these. We'll do that on the CNC. I just need to draw it because this one we just did. We made a template, did it on laser, and then took it over the router. So we're going to add these to them, which are really cool. But as far as what they're called and where you get them, let's go over here. See, this is the bracket that we made for the 3.5. Let's go over to Amazon. We'll go to orders. Let's see if they're still in the recent. Apparently we order a lot of stuff. We got a new drill. Ah, here they are. So there again, I need to add all this stuff to. So it is called wire spool rack. Yeah, just take a screenshot right now and there you go. That'll hook you up with what you need, and they're extremely reasonable. I mean, under $50. Like all three of those, $150. Like it's killer deal. Killer deal. Now the ones that Sage have wheels on them, so there's a ton of them here. So this is the one that Sage has at his place. And so this one is on wheels, so you can roll it around. There's a couple different ones, but really, I think the ones we got are like, here's a version of it that's even cheaper, but I think this is a little bit smaller. It looks a little smaller. Yeah, that one's definitely smaller. So, yep. It's 6 by, yeah, you got it. Anyways, so there we go. What do you think about the Morel Sensus? So far, so good. Really enjoying them. Have you had any experience with the Arc Audio Arc Series 3-way components, or AR? Not yet. That's actually what I'm planning on putting in my car, just because I want something that'll work well with the Falcon, and they sell the speakers I need. So I need a 3.5 inch for the center channel. They have coaxial 6.5, so they have a 6.5 mid bass, and they have a 3.5 inch mid range and a tweeter, so that all drop into the Mustang. So that's my plan, is to have those go in it for right now, because I just want to do a simple install before I just want to get the sound in there. Probably won't even do sound treatment just to get them in, because I feel I've taken so long. I just want to get something in the car. So, and sound treatment takes forever. Have you had any listening experience? Yeah, so we answered that. You should do a video on wire racks. Definitely stealing an idea. I'm loving the look of the KS tweeter and my pots. They look really good, Bobby. They look really good. I like how you use Allen screws. Do you rough up the smooth, shiny layer? No. So we don't do anything to the PVC at all to glue it together. Just put a bead on there and set it on top and pray that you got it right. That's it. Like, don't put a lot of it on there. It doesn't need it. It's like super. All right. So back to this guy here. You're welcome. Blackbird's going to go underneath this seat. The factory amplifier is located right there. Metro makes a harness for it. Now that I have this tweeter, as soon as I get off here, we're going to put this all back together, and we're going to start validating the speakers, getting all right. So I got to spend a bunch of time here converting that harness over for our use, which is this guy right here. So that's kind of the plan. That's the plan for today. So today, what our goal to get done is at least the front end, get the amplifier, possibly start on the amp rack, because we'll be using the CNC to cut out the amp rack. So that'll be nice. We didn't have to make pods for the doors. The Metro ones worked, and we didn't have to cut, which is cool. Now we talk about Hondas needing to be cut. And since we have one here, as soon as Fernando removes the hole, I'll show you what we're talking about. So they have these two, we'll call them divots, just kind of get in the way of everything. So these two were, put your fingers on the two divots. So where his thumb is right now and where his finger is right now, there's that area there is what gets in the way of most speakers, and you have to cut those off.
Well, this is the area right there. So
yeah,
clips in here, the factory, and what gets on the is this.
Yep.
This bump right there, these two bumps. So what you do is got it from here, the bottom corner and top corner, and just whack that
just
thing. Just like, just grab your knife and just start cutting it. And yeah, that's it. But in this one, actually, you don't have to.
Yeah, the high efficiency fits just fine.
It fits fine. It has a crossover.
Right.
But no, everything is fine. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's where we run into problems with. Oh.
And come on over here. I'll show you. Like in this part right here.
Yeah.
That we're gonna put the speaker.
Yeah.
And the speaker that we're gonna put, it's a Morel. And where you can find these Morel HE stands for what?
High efficiency.
I was thinking like, yeah.
He with an S?
Yes.
He's.
That's what it is. He's. Anyway,
okay. Yeah.
Where you can find this speaker is at morelhifi.com. That's the place that you can find this HE Morel speaker. Also, the Maximo. Maximo are very affordable. They sound great for the rear coaxials or a three-way set, whatever you prefer. morelhifi.com. That's the place that you can find them. That's
Good job. Thank you, Fernando. Okay. There was a question. How much bigger is the Falcon compared to the Blackbird? I believe it's 3 inches. I think we laid the two next to one another the other day. Yeah, it's about 3 inches. So there's the height there. Grab a tape measure. Yeah, look at it, 3 inches. Man, I'm good at knowing what 3 inches is. Anyways, that's the height difference. The Blackbird and the Nighthawk are the exact same height. And so the overall height on this is just a little bit more than 13 inches and just a little bit more than 10 inches, so about 10 and a half. So there you go. Those are the height differences. It's all about the small details. Thanks. You bet. No, it looked really nice. Good job, Bobby. All right. That's the plan for today. That is what is happening. It is Wednesday. It's been a very interesting week so far.
That's a good show.
What's a good show? Wednesday? Oh, it's fantastic. One of my favorites. We actually got started on this late. We had a car we had to do this morning, and so we're actually only... what time do you think we started on this? Like 12:30?
Yeah.
About 12:30. 12:30 is when we started on this. So we're actually making pretty good time. To already have at least one speaker in the car is pretty amazing, considering how much of the car we had to take apart, because you do have to take the whole center console out of the car to get to the amplifier. But now I kind of want to get to that. So as much as I love talking to you guys, I'm going to get back to work. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Carpet. Just carpet. I wonder why it sucks. That's kind of weird. I mean, I guess it works. Neat. Whoa. Don't lose your knife. Good day, everyone. This is the last day of the Honda Accord. It is getting ready to get out of here. We just got done with the final listen, and that means it's time for you guys to take a look and see what the heck is going on inside of here. So let me grab a light. So this, just to recap, got Morels all the way around. So if we come over here to the fallen soldiers, we got Morel Ultimo 602 coaxials and Morel Maximo Ultra 602 HE Mark IIs are in the front door. So we got a set of 2-ways in the front, coaxials in the rear. There's also a C3 Kenwood in the center channel, and it's all powered by, a Blackbird. Then for subs, it has two P212s in the trunk, which, let's see if I can get it to open. I forgot to plug in the override switch in the glove box, so it's not gonna let me into the trunk right now. It's getting ready to do that. Just in case you're working on a cord and for some reason the trunk doesn't work when you're done, override button's right here. You forgot to plug it in, silly. So I gotta fix that. But anyways, maybe we'll get Fernando to help us out and we'll take a look at the trunk. So what we got underneath the seat is a Blackbird, and this is the first amp rack that we've cut on the new CNC. So this got cut out over here yesterday. So you can see the leftovers from it. So that was the first. Yep. So that's pretty cool. Now the question would be, what is the difference in sound quality between the Falcon and the X2 series? The Falcon is, believe it or not, higher end. As far as the subtleties between the two, it'd probably be very close in power. I don't know. That's a great question. I'll call Brad. Maybe we'll ask Brad that question, because I mean, for the most part, I feel they're using the same DSP chips. But I'll get the full answer for you between the X2 and the Falcon. I know the Blackbird is way more power than the X2. The Falcon is more channels because it's 12 channels, whereas the X2 is just 8 channels. So power-wise, though, I think they're similar. The Falcon may still be more power. Check the damping factor. That's funny. Anyways, so on this guy here, this is kind of a unique system. So in the Honda, it has a 10-channel factory system, meaning there's a left and right front tweeter, a left and right front mid, a center. There's 5 channels in the front. In the back, has a left and right tweeter, left and right mid, and a subwoofer, 5 channels in the rear. So 10 channels total. This has 8 channels of input. Now for the rear, we are going to upmix them anyways, so we don't need the tweeter. So we are grabbing the center, the left and right mid, so tweeter, so the 5 up front. We're grabbing the left mid, right mid from the rear, as well as the subwoofer, and that takes up our 8 channels. But now we only have 8 channels of output, and we're adding in 2 P212s, which are these guys right here. So how this is configured is channel 1 and 2 are tweeters, channel 3 and 4 are the front mid bass, 5 is the center channel, and 6 are both of the rears. So what we've done is we've summed the left and right rear together, and we used the outputs here connected to an IRTA to check all our summing to make sure there was no silliness going on with the two, getting that all straightened out. Luckily, there wasn't anything too spectacular to worry about there. So we're using, and there again, it's rear, so it's surround. It doesn't have to do left, right, surround. It just does noise in the back, which is really cool. So yeah, that's how we use this 8-channel amplifier. And then 7 and 8 are bridged off to our 2 subwoofers. And the P2s we've done on this a bunch of times now, and they just kill it. They are monsters on the back channels of this amplifier. Very efficient, small magnet, lots of bass, ported enclosure. Does the Falcon and Blackbird have the same power watts per channel? No, the Falcon is less power per channel than the Blackbird. The Blackbird is, according to Brad, more powerful and per channel. But there again, you have 8 channels and 12 channels, so there's a difference. When checking specs on speakers other than RMS power, how can you tell if they're good on radio power? If you look at the efficiency of the speaker, the higher the number, meaning like 95 dBs of efficiency, 98 dBs of efficiency, are going to do better with less power compared to something, let's say, had 89 dBs of efficiency. So if you looked at something that was 89 dBs and you looked at something that was 95 dBs, that's 1 watt, 1 meter. So when you put 1 watt in it, that speaker is going to be louder with less power. So if you're working off of a factory radio, then you got that 7 to 15 watts of power coming out of it. Something with a higher efficiency is going to sound louder. New glasses? No, I have to wear 2 different glasses depending on what I'm doing. So these are to see 3 feet in front of me, and then my other ones are to see everything past that. So for this, I gotta put the black ones on. Yeah. Anyways, so the factory amplifier is located behind here on the driver's side, and there is no T-harness for this car for this. So we had to make our own harness. And so everything is reversible, so it can all go back to factory if it needs to, which is cool. So we just have plugs. So we soldered in all our own plugs. So all our stuff plugs in. There are green load resistors. There's a huge cavity right here. So we have LGD green load resistors. We have 4, so 2 pairs, because that's what we have. We have 8. Shallow mount sub, Comp RT. Or the L7T. I like the kickers. Sound is bad? Hopefully sound is good. I don't have my finger over the mic. And I still got, I lost sound too. So is there no sound right now? That is very weird. Sound is good. Okay, sound is back. Weird. I know. Might have been a delay. So we're in a Honda Accord, and we're talking about how we integrated into it. When you flip the camera, the sound went away. I had to leave to come back. Oh, that was weird. Gotta love it, man. Free Instagram. Okay, so that's the amplifier. Oh, guy getting up. As far as like speaker locations, we showed you the other day, speakers dropped right into place, didn't have to do any modification. The tweeter had to heavily modify to get into this area here, so that was a lot of fun. The center channel, we did laser a bracket to get that into place, but otherwise pretty straightforward. What we wanted to do is move it had to move down some, and then we made like a horn, like a gasket to go up, so that, because the hole was for a 3 and we were putting a 3.5. So we wanted to make a little bit more room, or make sure it didn't take up any more room. And then for the bass knob, Arc Audio right here. So I got a nice topped, simple, excitable bass knob. Went right into place. That amplifier is located right there, the factory. So, and to get to the amplifier, it is quite a fun thing. A couple things when taking apart an Accord that you do need to think about is, one, where I screwed up and not plugging back in the lock for the trunk, and 2, there is an air conditioner hose that goes from here down into the cab, and when you pull this off, it comes out. Does this? Yeah, exactly. And so when you go to put this back in, you do have to line it all up. It won't automatically reseat itself, so you got to crawl up under here and work it back into place. So that's something to keep in mind if you ever take this piece off to get to the radio, to slide the radio out. Now this in the center, this is all one piece, so this just all comes out, and the speaker is screwed behind it, because the radio brain is actually located here behind this. So okay, went out and came back, and the sound was back. No sound. Is that an amplified Honda? This is an amplified Honda Accord. Just bought some Arc Audio RS 6.5s. Do they have good mid bass? They have, yeah, of course, they have fantastic mid bass. It's a fantastic speaker. So yeah, it should be good. Okay, so outside, while I was tuning this, let me set this down. Fernando was finishing up this Volkswagen. No, we haven't installed any of the Sigma stuff yet. So he's finishing putting this together. This got the full cal direct replacement set of components. So there's a 7-inch mid bass and then a tweeter. In typical Volkswagen fashion, they make 2 versions of this, one with a 6-ish and one with a 7-ish. And then the tweeter is melt it into place. So you have to unmelt the tweeter, put your new tweeter in. It does come with a sticker if you don't want to melt it back in to kind of like stick it into place. Fernando melted it back in place, and then the speakers are riveted in. So they do come with rivets, and today he decided to rivet it back in. So they come with these cool focal rivets, and we have this cool air riveter that he's been dying to use. So you got a chance to use it today. Isn't that exciting?
That's right.
Yeah. So the plan for this car, this is phase 1 on this car. It is eventually going to get a key 200.4, but they're doing it in steps. So today it got the speakers, and then sometime in the future it'll come back and we'll put a key 200.4 in it on the fronts. People say the Hertz MPX 6.5s are loud. I have them on a Hertz Power 4, but I feel like my cheaper Infinity Kappas were louder. What's your say, Dean? There again, it depends on... So there is a possibility that the other speakers seemed louder. If one speaker handles more power than another, so let's say one speaker handles 50 watts, another one handles 100 watts. And there again, this is not science of any kind. This is just what we have experienced. Okay, so if I take this factory radio, this is a better example. So this factory radio right here puts out 15 watts. The speakers that were in it were these little things right here, this cheap speaker. And we're taking these out and we're putting in the focals. Now, if this speaker had an efficiency of, let's say, 98 dB, and this speaker has an efficiency of, let's say, 89 dB, same power, the factory ones are going to be louder. And because they're louder, most people are going to say they sound better, because loudness somehow is directly correlation to how
better
good
sound.
Something sounds, right? The louder, the better. Always. So if in the situation you had the Infinity Kappas, which are a pretty efficient speaker, and you ran the same power to them at the same volume, the Infinities might be louder, and that might be your perception of what sounds better. Don't know, just guessing. It could also be that the Hertz, you might need an equalizer. You know, they might be reacting differently than the Infinities did in a given space. That's why EQ is so important, because speakers sound different and do different things. So the Infinities might be better at masking the distortion than the Hertz. But that would be one explanation. That's just a guess. That's just a guess. That's what say me. What's up, Nando?
What up?
Kappas are 3 ohm. That could be the other thing too, is you're getting more power to them, plus the better efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
So your Hertz they might sound better, but you'll never know, because you don't have the power or the equalization. 85 watts to 100 watts. Yeah, that's 25%. Or not 25, that's 18, 20, 20%? So, I don't know. I'm not going to do math. I sound like Nick trying to do math. That was silly. 1995 Mitsubishi Galant. Oh, God. Are the front doors 6.5s and the dash 4 same channel or separate? Haven't torn into it yet. Also, which signal DIN would you go with? Okay, so I think it's a 3.5 on the top of the dash on that one. Not sure. But more than likely, yeah, they are the same channel. As far as single DINs go, there's not a lot to choose from. Most of it is pretty boring. However, the one that I sell everyone that walks in the door is JVC makes a marine, I don't know, I think I have it CD and just straight Bluetooth. Single DIN, it's marine, it's black, and it has the brightest freaking display screen in the world, which is what most of these single DINs don't have. So if I was to buy or sell you something, I would sell you the JVC Marine radio. It just looks the best. And it's black, so it matches. Unlike the Kenwood version of it, which is silver, no good. What's the difference in sound signature between Morel and Audison? A lot. I don't know the thought process behind it. I mean, they're both silk soft dome. Audison, it's made to be their more musical line in Electromedia, because you have Hertz and Audison. Hertz is supposed to be their like beer party cheese, whereas the Audison is supposed to be like champagne, pinkies out, jazzy. Morel is just musical, So, I mean, they're probably more similar than not. On the Red Mustangs you guys did with the Focal K2s, did you guys add a center speaker? No, we didn't. No. So in most of the Fords, the center speaker is pretty useless. It doesn't do anything. And if we can integrate into the car, 9 times out of 10 we're doing away with the center channel, just because it doesn't really bring much to the stage. In this Honda, we are replacing the center channel, and we put the C3 in there because we're speaker for speaker connection in this, meaning we're retaining the center, we're retaining all the channels because it's high level into the amplifier. Metro does make an interface for it, but I don't like it. It adds an echo and it sounds weird. So we just do it this way, and we get the better. We have to keep the center because like Bluetooth and talking and stuff like that come from the center speaker. It doesn't do that in the Ford. Plus in the Ford, we have integrations for most of it, so there's really no need to. New speakers may need to break into. That is true. Okay. There again, I mean, it could be just the efficiency that's causing the difference. Or, this is crazy, you just don't like the way they sound. That's the case. Some people, it's like, I don't like that. There's certain speakers I don't like. There's certain speakers he doesn't like. There's certain speakers people like. So, just because somebody said something was better, doesn't necessarily mean it's better for you. So there's always that as a possibility that you just bought some speakers and you just like the other ones better. I mean, it's okay. It happens. It's kind of cool. It means you have some taste. Not necessarily good or bad taste. You just have a preference. When you guys tune a DSP, do you guys tune according to what type of music the customer listens to? So, yes and no. Most of the time, we're tuning to make it sound not terrible in the car. Like that's like there's problems that a car has, and we try to overcome most of those. And when you overcome those, then the system will sound good no matter what you're playing. Now, keep in mind, once you have a baseline for sound, it's like, oh, this sounds great. They still have full control of their bass, mid, and treble on their radio. So if they'd like to fine tune it a little bit, they can. But we found most people don't want to do that. And there again, we're maximizing the amount of output. So, and we play a wide variety of music when we tune it. Because I play certain music, Fernando plays certain music. So most of that is done in the beginning when we sell you the components. So, Focal has their sound signature, and Morel has theirs, and every speaker excels at something. So, like, if you come in like, bro, man, I want it loud, I want to do this. It's like you sound like more of a Focal. So we try to get that out of the way in the beginning because you can push a speaker, but only so far. So, like, if you come in and you're like, I just listen to hip hop, I'm not going to sell you a bunch of Morel stuff because it's not going to like that. It's not that you can't listen to hip hop. You can. It's just there's other speakers that do better. That's all. So I guess to answer that question is we try to get it right in the beginning with the speaker choice, and then we don't. Then we just tune it to the way it's supposed to sound. Because like if someone comes in and says, "Oh, my tweeter is so damn bright, I can't see." Well, if you have a soft tweeter, that'll never happen. So I think that all begins in the beginning with the speaker. God, I'm reiterating. It's terrible. 2022 GMC Ford AT4. Who makes a good enclosure? I want to run 4 Arc Audio 10s. Shallow, no seat lift. Also doors. Want to run 4 Arc Audio 10s, shallow with no seat lift. Also, doors have 6x9s and 2.5s in dash. No tweeters. What do you recommend I do? Add a tweeter or run a 2 3/4? I would recommend adding a tweeter. This is the same truck Brian had for years. He had two 12s, I think, under the seat with the RS 6.5 and the RS tweeter, and off of a Blackbird. Loved it. Won a bunch of shows. Sounded fantastic. It's a great sounding system. I don't know if that's a system for you. We just did one of these not too long ago where we added tweeters to the A-pillars along. So we did a 3-way set. Kind of cool. I feel every system needs a tweeter. However, you can't just, you need a big tweeter. Like, you need a loud tweeter to just use a tweeter in that location and nothing else. As far as who makes a 4-sub under seat enclosure for that, what is it, PCA enclosures? Yeah. Try PCA enclosures out of California. They make some beautiful boxes. They'll probably make you one of those. I don't think Fox Acoustics has a 4-sub box for underneath the seat of that. So, but give them a call. PCA enclosures. I almost think I don't like them. I'm trying to like them. And I get you there. I mean, trust me, you spend money on something, you want to like it. Sometimes you just, it doesn't work out. I mean, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Go with what you like. Dean, I'm going to be getting my first impact on 3/4 or 1/2 inch. So good question. Now, we have this guy, which is a 1/2 inch, and this comes out for Dodge. Anything that is Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, it needs this freaking monster because they put Loctite on their seat bolts. They're jerks. Now, with that in mind, as you can see, the battery is not in it right now because we only use it for that. And we have a set of 1/2 inch. We have both regular and impact, so we have some impacts in the drawer. Now, for every other car, we use this guy, which is the 3/8 impact, and we bought the 12-volt battery for it, which is some cheap third-party thing. And you can see it broke because it's super heavy, so we tape it on. And this is the workhorse. Like, this does, what do you think, 90% of the vehicles? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is like our go-to, this guy right here. And we don't use impact sockets on it, which we probably should, but we don't, because living dangerous. But this guy is where the money's at. Unless you work on a lot of Dodges, because that guy, that won't even touch a Dodge. Won't even touch it. Now, the other thing that we just got, which is pretty cool, that we're trying out right now, and there again, we have to try it out before we get it on the DNF tool drawer, but I'll show it to you anyways, because it was in an Instagram ad, and I did not buy it off of Instagram, because that would just be stupid, because I'm not going to pay like a whole bunch of extra money. We got... I can do it. I'll just pull the whole thing out. Oh, it's in backwards. That's why. We got this guy. And what this guy is for those vehicles where the seat bolt is in the back. So what you do is you take this.
Can I pull it out?
Yeah. Yeah, when you're ready, sure. And you put this guy like this, and then it'll spin here. Okay, so there's like a bunch of gears and stuff inside of it. And then you pick, if you want a 3/8, if you want a 3/8 to 1/2 inch, or, quarter. This comes off. This is just a nut. But this guy, we got to use this the other day, and hell, it might have been a Dodge, but it was a newer Dodge that didn't have we'd already taken those seat bolts out, so that they came out real easy. But this thing is really cool. So we'll let you know how this thing goes, because it's sketchy. I'm not gonna lie, it feels pretty sketchy. Like it feels cheap. Feels cheap because it's just like pressed steel. It's got just shrink wrap on it, so it feels kind of cheap. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I gotta pull the glove box, and I gotta bolt the seat down. So anyways, socket drawer. Does changing the EQ change the clip point on the amp? Okay, so I guess the simple answer to that could be yes. It depends on what you do with the EQ though. Okay, so when you talk about the clip point on the amp, you would have to EQ the car and then worry about the clip point on the amp. One of the things that when, like, for example, when you're running certain softwares, it gets a little fun. Hold on. Okay. And so when we're looking at like the Arc Audio software here, so these are your peak light indicators. So you have your input signal, you have post mixer, you have post EQ, and you have output. And each one of these is a different phase of when you're doing something. So you have your input mixer, you have, like here is, this is your input mixer. But if you come over here, let's go back to this. I don't even use it anymore, so I forgot where it's at. You have this, which is your input. So this is input, and you see where it has that number right there. That number is changeable as well as these. So here is, this is your input. So you can set it up for 2 volts, 0.5 volts, 2 volts, 8 volts, 32 volts. And this is your high level. So this would be your input. This would be post mixer. And so you can come over here into these channels and you can turn these up. So you can add in more gain in the beginning. So what this is for is that obviously not every setting is going to, not like 8 volts, right? So if a radio has 5 volts, it's more than 2 volts, but it's less than 8 volts. So you're going to be in this. So you're going to click 8 volts because that's the better one. And then if you need to, you can go in here and you can turn it up some to get your input voltage up right. And you can monitor that here. And then over here, you have output voltage as well as when you're in the, you have levels, which is gains per channel. So there's a lot going on. And so if you go to just the EQ, these are 30 gains. All right, there's 30 gains here. That's what this level control is. It's a gain, boost or cut. So to answer your question, that's why I would say yes, because it's totally possible. Now, how much are we talking? That's really where the line is, because it might not even be noticeable. Depends what you do. Now, if you're in there and you're gaining the EQ, just like, woo, look at me, I'm way up here. Yeah, you know. And then another thing that sucks is, like in this has a factory radio, so it has output from, you need a Phillips, and that piece just pops off. If you want to do this, I need to plug the glove box thing in. So just grab this right here and pull that off. And there's 4 screws there and 2 across the bottom. So anyways, I think you get the idea. This is the way. Is there a video of the one you recently did adding a tweeter? Yes, it would have been a Monday video 2 or 3 weeks back. It would have been an Instagram 5 minutes with 5-star recap video. We go through the whole process in that. Don't forget to ask Nando to do the core. Yeah, good call. That's what he's doing right now. I just found out that Powerbase bought Image Dynamic and the ID Max V4 still the same as the old original ones. Yeah, no, we've actually talked about that for years now. The same guy that makes it, there's no screws in there. You just got to get the 2 bottom screws and pop this off. didn't say it was going to be easy. The side has to come off too. Yeah, no, it's the same guy making them. They finally convinced him he needed a helper because he didn't have one, and he was making all those subs by himself. And they're like, dude. Now, the other thing Powerbase has done a really good job of not screwing up the line. Meaning they don't have a lot of side stuff like a lot of companies do, or they'll buy something like Image Dynamic, and then they'll come out with like Image Dynamic this, and Image Dynamic that, and they've actually kept most. You got to pull the side. They've actually kept most of that in the Powerbase line. So like Powerbase, instead of making a bunch, which they could have done because Powerbase has some really nice high-end amplifiers, and they didn't make them Image Dynamic amplifiers, which is interesting. So yeah, it's just there on the side, the little cable tucked up in there. I forgot it. I know, so stupid. If you are adding 60 Bs, yes. Hi Dean. Hi Fernando. Hi Fernando. Hi. Do you like your tool cabinets? Would you buy the same ones again? These, I love them. I love them. These are fantastic. So every tool cabinet we have kind of has a trunk opens. Hold the tool cabinet thought for a minute. We'll circle back around. So this is the box. It's ported. It is. Do we know whose box this is? Zen Enclosures, maybe? I think this is a Zen Enclosure. Zen allows you to order it in a multitude of different ways. So you can get 210s, 212s, 110, 112 ported or sealed. Slides right into place. We put our own speaker cup on it because I don't like theirs. But yeah, no, that's it. That's the box. All right, so let's talk about cabinets. So these boxes here are Husky. Love these. They match these boxes. This company here, which is New Age, doesn't make a bottom box. They're all like this, which is too thin. We needed something that was thick, obviously, because we have things we're setting on top of it. So that is also a Husky. We bought that because it fit perfect. We should probably replace that one with that one, but I'm not that picky. So one box is ugly. It's not the end of the world. But we'll eventually replace that just because why not? So I love these. And these are fantastic because you can order them any way you want. So we have a bunch of different kinds. And, of course, they give you the light rail so you can add LEDs to them. We just went on Amazon and bought regular LEDs instead of theirs because why would I? But I like it because we were able to recreate the wood shelving we had, but in metal. Of course, bought all of this, which is fantastic. Now, these are different. So these cabinets we found that were perfect for this. Like this was one manufacturer that made a drawer, and then like this is where we keep all the CNC stuff. And so what we did for this is we took 4 of them and screwed them all together, and then used 5 wheels. There's one in the center to make it roll around. Right now it's roll around. We might change that at some point because this does shake a little bit. And then we went to Home Depot and we went to Lowe's and got a butcher board top to match all the other butcher board tops. Just we didn't have any time to finish it because we needed to get this in, and then we added this side piece to it because this holds the CPU for it, because we wanted to keep as much cabinet space as we could. This cabinet right now, the doors had to come off, which I don't like, but we'll figure it out. That is the vacuum for the vacuum table that's right here. So we make a lot of noise, so does that, which is cool. Plus you have to turn on the vacuum system. And then these cabinets, this was actually really cool. So this is actually, we did the same thing. We have 2 cabinets that we joined together, and this actually came as like a shelf. So this was like almost for like a bathroom or something. And what was nice is it matched those cabinets for the most part, which is what we wanted. And we bought 2 of them. They're back to back, and we left the backs off. So this actually passes through to the other side. And there again, nice lockable cabinets. Right now we're working on getting the vacuum hooked back up to this. So we're working on all this. That's our special little project right now. And then up front here, of course, everyone's seen the new wire racks. Still on the fence of whether or not I want 2 of these, but I don't know how bad I want 2 of these. But these are nice because like it allows us to organize all our stuff. And it's up here. This is eventually going to get raised up off the floor. And the goal is to one day have a tower speaker here and a tower speaker here. but for right now, it's just doing this. These cabinets, they're again, we kind of mixed and matched a couple manufacturers. New Age, where their top boxes are great. Their bottom boxes, wasn't feeling it. So got these off of Amazon, and then found this company that makes one with a drawer, which is cool. Allows us to put all the extra parts. And then we got two giant, the same company that made those, made these. So we have two giant locker style cabinets. Then we have two more that turned into our cabinets for this. So this is all black up here, which we wanted because of the window. We just wanted to kind of make them disappear. And then we found this company that made these, which are cool because they lift up. And this is where we keep all the 3D printer crap like filament and stuff. Amazon is a great place if you just want to kind of put stuff together. New Age is a much better place if you're trying to design a garage, because you can just go on and you can buy all these cool kits. And the pricing was pretty good when we bought them. So definitely like that, because like they'll sell you a whole garage system, which is fantastic. Milwaukee M12. Yeah, nice. I shop at Harbor Freight. I do too. What was your favorite old school sub? I was an Orion XTR guy, so that's about as old school as it gets. Is that the biggest 5-star logo ever made on the side? It's the biggest one we've ever CNC'd. So like that we made on here, which was really cool. That one I actually made by hand a long time ago. So this was when we used the photocopier technique. So what I used to do is take the image. I had an app for my computer that would take a standard piece of photocopier paper and lay it out, and then it would, like a poster, print it on there, and then you could attach it to your thing and cut it out with your jigsaw. And so this we did this by hand. This is lasered, but we did this by hand, so that's cool. Do you guys listen to music while you work? So we got in the habit of not listening to music because of the video aspect of it. And then we just argue most of the time. So no, we don't. Fernando does when I'm gone. He'll crank up the Morel, the little guy, the biggie. So he'll crank the hell out of our biggie right here. So that's a lot of fun. How many years in the making of all of those storage cabinets? So couple, probably 2 or 3. It's obviously not something you want to do all at once because it is expensive. So we've been working on it for about 3 years, realistically. You guys are just like, what's up, Haley? So anyways, that's kind of, yeah, so that's what's going on. It's 2 o'clock. What's today, Friday? All right. So anyways, the Honda's off. The customer's on their way up to pick it up. And so that'll go home, which is fantastic. I don't know what else is going on in this. So as far as I know, we were doing speakers, but it might be staying the night. Who knows? So anyways, we'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys have a great rest of your day. Oh, by the way, before I forget, this show is brought to you by the fine folks at Morel. If you're looking for awesome sound like that guy in the Honda just got, and you want to be like the guy in the Honda, because who doesn't want to be a Honda guy, right? Yeah. Head over to morelhifi.com. And if you have a shop and you want to play music in it, go pick yourself up a Biggie. Fernando will totally endorse the hell out of that, because he loves his Biggie. He's actually got the Hagtalar at his house that he jams out with in his bedroom, because he has a big surround sound stereo in the living room. But yeah, check it out. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye.